Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda the second quest, and let's avoid these blue leaders and continue on with our quest. We just got the whistle, we just completed the second dungeon, and with the whistle it opens up a whole lot of area for us to explore in terms of secret areas and dungeons and the like. Now that we've gotten that taken care of with a whistle, it's probably a good time to go ahead and get another item. And that's an item we really couldn't get in the first episode of the Let's Play. Well, the first episode of the second quest, because we have to get it in this section because, well, we need the whistle for it. And as we go up here, if you remember what I said in the first episode, or the previous episode rather, we need the whistle to get to World 6. By the way, if you destroy the Genie there, you can actually get an extra heart container. And I'm going to actually gun for some of these heart containers in this episode. I think it's a good idea. Now here's going to be a little bit of a risk, because I'm basically going to attempt to get the ladder. And the ladder is actually pretty close to the entrance of level 6. And so basically I'm just going to avoid the enemies as much as possible and go for it. Again, I'm also not going to take any saving shortcuts, if you know what I mean. I'll make it a little more legitimate. I mean, you can do that if you want, but I'd rather not. Now, if we push this column out of the way, we could get those rupees. We don't need them. But anyways, we can go down here for the ladder. And this is going to make our job a whole hell of a lot easier for the second quest. So we might as well get it. And it also helps for a particular enemy, if you know what I mean. Again, we need to just get out of here as quickly as possible. I kind of took a little shortcut. You don't have to do this, but now that I've got the ladder, I wanted to just go ahead and get the key. This also introduces us to those, you see the red and blue balls there? Well, yeah, the red ball will actually take your sword away, and unless you get, I believe, hit by a fairy or drink a red potion or blue potion, or get hit by the blue ball, your sword gets taken away permanently. So that's a real pain in the ass. And it'll get a lot worse than that over the next few dungeons, trust me. But anyways, we're done with that for now, so it's time to get out of the way of Dungeon 6. And it's time to go exploring a little bit, because we need some heart containers. And we also need the white sword, so we might as well get it. Now up here there's a few extra secrets, including the Master Sword to our right, but we're not going to get that just yet. But over here we have another heart container. I'm not worried about getting hit at this point. obviously. I'm just kind of face-tanking everything. Now here, if I was mistaken, I remember that you could go with the ladder across there, but apparently you can't. I could have sworn you could at one point, though, but apparently not. Or maybe I was in the wrong spot. Who knows? This is kind of a clever thing from the designers, I think, because if I haven't mentioned it in the first quest, they kind of give you a blue Lionel, and it takes you forever to get rid of it with a wooden sword. Then with a white sword, if it respawns, it kind of gives you an indication of how much stronger the white sword is compared to the wooden sword. And for most enemies, the number of hits between the wooden sword, the white sword, and the magic sword are halved in each case. For most enemies, anyway. Or at least the very final enemy, if you know what I mean. Now, we're going to go ahead and take care of level 8, because we've got enough weaponry to do it. And level 8 is really long. We also have a new enemy here, the ropes, that are actually a lot quicker than the ropes that we saw in the first quest. Level 8 is an interesting level in that the design is this large spiral pattern for the map, and there are a lot of dead ends and secret passages in this level. And here I'm avoiding the red balls as much as possible. Actually, I think those are blinking balls, my mistake. Still, I'd rather avoid them. The problem with this recording is that the frame rate's different in the YouTube video and the recording from what I've actually could see. So, yeah. You don't have to get all the extras in this dungeon, but I am going to get all the items. Including the map, and now you can see this giant, spiral that is level 8. Level 7's a spiral as well. I was trying to put out the meat to see if the Gorayas or the Gorias would go after it, but apparently they don't. Apparently they don't. And that shutter is a one-way shutter, by the way, so we have to go back all the way to the beginning, or at least where we came from. Of course, that may be a little redundant, but that's the way it is. And I like how they give you 6 red balls here that you have to avoid. Thankfully, I avoided it that time, or else it would have been really, really shitty for me. You know. You don't get fairies very often in this game, so you might as well avoid the balls as much as possible. With enough practice, you can do it. Now these Zodongos I'm not worried about. So I'm going to move to the next room, where we have the Wall Masters, and red and blue balls. So we've got, yes, I said blue balls. So yes, what we've got to do is just kind of go around here and destroy the Wall Masters as much as possible, get hit by a blue ball, go down here for the magic wand. Now the good thing is that even though the balls will take away your sword, you know, if you go through level 8, you'll have the magic wand just in case, so that's actually a good thing. And I really don't think I need the magic key, which is also in this dungeon, but I'm gonna get it anyway. And the sneaky thing about this dungeon is you have to take different passages for different items, just like you would have to do that in level 9, in the first quest, I believe. There are a lot of one-way passages and things like that that you have to look out for in World 8. Or Dungeon 8, sorry. Confusing with Mario. I guess a dungeon is a world in the most vague sense imaginable. And this is another reason why the ladder is so important in the second quest, because a lot of times in these rooms with the barriers there that you can cross with the ladder, you might have the red or blue balls that you have to avoid, and they will not hit you if you're on the ladder. So that's awful nice. And that's going to be very useful, I believe, in Dungeon 7. Now here's where we needed the meat for. And here's what we needed the meat for, rather. Grumble, grumble, he is hungry. Is it mystery meat? I don't know. It does look kind of odd. I mean, it doesn't exactly look like a turkey leg or anything, because there's bone sticking out on both sides, so... You got me on that one. I don't know what kind of meat this is. Maybe it's, you know, maybe they couldn't wait to bomb some Dodongos, or they were so hungry they couldn't... They were so hungry they could eat an Octorok. Maybe it's Octorok meat. You know, maybe they like calamari. I don't know. That's one thing I like about this game, is that even though in the dungeons the rooms are on the outside the same, you can only have up to 4 doors, they've made a lot of variety in terms of the types of doors, one-way shutters and two-way doors, hidden doors, and all that fun stuff. And they've also used columns in the dungeons in particular patterns to create more of a challenge for the enemies. And here we got more wall masters. And I'm gonna ignore them. That room is nothing but trouble. I always thought it was funny, the Dodongo's face when he gets bombed like that. Also thought they looked like little hearts when they were walking upwards. Or little scallop shells, you know. This is why the magic shield is so useful. If there weren't these fireballs here, then the Dodongos would be a piece of cake. And of course, guess what? We've got all these damn balls. So you've got to push that out of the way, or at least have him have some sort of medicine, or hope to God, or whatever you believe in. If not, or whatever, they have a blue ball on the other end, which you do, but still. And notice the Stalfos can spit out swords at you. And I get a stopwatch at the last minute, which is kind of useful. Useful, sarcastically speaking. And here we get the magic key with a nice little lion face. If you think about it, the magic key isn't really that useful because, well, keys are still abundant in this game, if you know what you're doing. The only time I think it really becomes useful is in the last dungeon, which is kind of like, oh, and here I'm kind of cheating, using a wall master to get back to the beginning. But anyways, the keys are kind of like, what was it? Yes, Dungeon 6 in The Adventure of Link. I got chased by a dig dogger there. Finally. This episode's mostly gonna be level 8, or Dungeon 8. Like I said, it's pretty long. I think this is about maybe just a little shorter than Dungeon 9. Lots of rooms that we have to go through. And the last passages that we need to go through take us to this little corner of the map. I can't really get rid of this keys just yet. Now, there we go. I just did that because I felt like it. You don't really have to do it, but I was like, why not? I remember when I was playing the second quest a long time ago and I didn't really look at a map, I was just kind of playing it blind, that level 8 was one of the levels that was kind of difficult for me to figure out. Level 9 I could eventually figure it out, but level 8 was kind of tricky. I guess because the map wasn't very straightforward, you know? And so it took a little bit of memorization. Thankfully we got some bombs there, and we got a couple of hearts in the process. Thankfully this guy is pretty slow. You just have 5 segments on each one. You know, considering the limitations that were there in 1986, they did a really good job with this game. You know? Anyways, we have Aquamantis here. So let's get rid of him and dispatch him thoroughly. Now if you go down here, you'll have this nice little room with the wall masters that we have to deal with. And a little sprite issue, but whatever. I think it's because of the frame rate. This is why this room is such a pain in the butt. Because the columns make it so that, you get forced in between those balls there. And I'm definitely gonna do this. This is why I had a little extra money. Because now I have 12 bombs, and, you don't really need 12 bombs, but I figure I might as well show it. Now here I'm running for my life, so I can keep my sword. And let's go northward. And northward again. Makes me wonder how those enemies get into some of these rooms that are bombed up, you know? Anyways, can you guess who we're gonna have to face? Yes, just a couple of Dodongos. It's nice that they give us a fairy here, with all the fireballs hitting us. We made a couple of mistakes, but that's okay. If you do that and get them with the smoke, you'll get bombs, so that's nice. Anyways, this wraps up the episode, so thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Goodbye.